We ask you on Instagram what you genuinely want to know.
Oh, if someone has no portfolio yet.
Best tips for shooting with flash?
All right, best wedding kit, not brands, but setup.
So building a portfolio is not the first step. The first step is...
Why you were gatekeeping this all this time? This is such a good idea. And he would tell me, Anna, you're not a heart surgeon. Like, nobody is gonna die if you're not gonna deliver the wedding today.
When you're seeing your Instagram, when you see your portfolio, your presence, generally, you have to think how the others perceive you.
What is the meaning of life?
Oh my God.
Yes, you did ask me that. And then I was thinking...
We are Anna Roussos and Thanos Asfis.
Wedding photographers with over 2 decades of experience capturing wedding affairs around the world.
Recognized by leading publications as among the top wedding photographers globally.
We're here to share the business and technical tips, the artistry behind our work,
and a few funny stories we've gathered along the way. We ask you on Instagram what you genuinely want to know. So today, we're going to answer your questions like we're having an honest conversation.
But before we dive in, please don't forget to subscribe and leave us a comment. Your feedback is very important to us. So Thanos, let me ask you the first question. How do you access the destination wedding market?
So this is something that we get asked a lot, I guess. And most of the photographers, they would like to travel and photograph weddings, combine their two passions. And it's not easy in the beginning. The most easy thing is to start locally because, you know the market, you know the people.
Or the language.
Yeah, you know the language also. But I would say a good start would be focus on 1 or 2 locations maximum for destinations. Don't try to, to just open up to the destination market. It's too generic. You won't be able to find what moves to make in order to succeed. So, for instance, if you want to work, let's say in Italy, focus in one specific place, like Tuscany. Maybe target even some specific venues. That way, you can create a landing page on your site, SEO that accompanies this page, and you'll be able to make the moves in order to attract the clients to bring you there. One more thing I would say is if you cannot find any other way to create some content and in order to attract the clients that you want, that will bring you to these destinations, contact the photographer that is to your level, that works there. And tell them, you know what, I would like to photograph a wedding at your location. Maybe you like a photograph a wedding at my location. So what if I come to your wedding in a second shoot? You can come to my wedding in second shoot and we can both use the images.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, and that's one way also not to create any issues to the market because the clients will be happy because they're going to have 2 photographers.
2 good photographers.
Exactly.
Yes.
And they're not going to get a better price because you want to...
Why you were gatekeeping this all this time? This is such a good idea.
Yeah,
I never thought of this.
That's how I started, actually.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Tell me more, I don't know.
So I wanted to start photographing weddings abroad, and I had one good friend that was working in the Philippines, Oli.
Oli, really?
Yes.
I didn't know that's how it started.
Yes, and so he came to photograph a wedding with me in Santorini, and I went to photograph a wedding with him in the Philippines, Boracay.
And I think, the hardest part is portfolio. It's having something to show that you were actually a destination wedding photographer, that you have experience working in this venue. So that's a really good advice. Afterwards, you don't need to have like 5 weddings. 2, I think, is already good enough. And then you have to strategically position these images and galleries throughout your site, and also the wording on the site, the titles of the page, and all the information that you write about your business have to support the fact that you're a destination photographer. For me, that was exactly the case because I have done a couple of weddings in France and Italy, and I really wanted to do more. And there was this moment where I decided, and as maybe our listeners do not know, we're based in Greece, so most of the jobs I had were in on Greek islands and in Athens. So I decided to redesign my site, change the photos and change the wording, basically, not to redesign it. And I wrote that I am a destination wedding photographer in Italy and France. I removed Greece completely. I left galleries from Greece, but the way I was writing about my business is if I mostly work in Italy and France. I have to say that it was very scary to do that because my biggest fear was I had a lot of business happening, photo shoots happening in Greece. I was afraid to lose those. But because I was already known on the local market, I had connections with the planners. I had pages on the site that were driving a good traffic and bringing me inquiries, which I did not remove. So basically, I opened the door to more opportunities and to clients who are getting married, let's say in Italy, and they visit my site and they say, okay, she has worked there. So, because it's hard for many for many couples, they want to book someone who who's at least familiar with the country they're getting married. Maybe not the venue, but they've been, they photograph. Or at some point, like where we stand right now, I think just because we travel all over the world, for our potential clients, it's not important anymore. Like we've been to this country or not, because just it's our thing that we travel.
Yeah, totally. Okay, next question. What actually moved the needle for you when stepping into higher tiers of the market?
What moved the needle? You mean what?
I don't know what I mean because
What
I just
means,
wrote,
yes.
I just read the question.
I'm not sure what the person means by moving the needle. If it's what helped me to step into this luxury market or what helped me to stay there?
No, the way I understand it is what make you step into this market.
Positioning and branding is everything. So definitely when we did a rebrand, especially when we changed the style also, and there was a whole transitional period and rebrand, very slow and careful, that followed this decision, absolutely opened doors. Also, I think it's like in order to get into luxury market, very often most of inquiries, they don't come from couples. They come from planners because the weddings that have a big budget, usually it's the planners who does most of the communication and the planners team. So why I'm saying that, it's important to get noticed by planners. Mm-hmm. And I think we worked a lot on building authority by writing books. We educate a lot. We also, you remember those master classes about marketing that we have hosted online for all wedding vendors. We constantly were inviting ourselves to different conferences. So we didn't, I think, lose any opportunity to make our names heard and make ourselves noticed. And especially like building authority by showcasing your expertise at something like teaching or writing books. This helps a lot because in luxury market, the most important thing is not how talented you are. You have to be by default talented and produce a good quality images, but it's how professional you are. Mm-hmm. It's how you about your appearance. I would say appearance and professionalism. They play a major role.
I want to add this. You have to think when you're seeing your Instagram, when you see your portfolio, your presence. Generally, you have to think how the others perceive you. When a luxury client visits your site, somehow finds about your Instagram, what do they see? And what they would like to see, even better. And I had this discussion with a friend of mine. He's a very good videographer. And a few years ago, I think just a couple of years ago, he told me, I don't understand what's happening. I don't manage to book inquiries that are coming towards me. They're luxury inquiries, like the good venues, good clients, high budget. But although somehow they land, to my side. Maybe they ask some information. That's it. I don't. There's no interest afterwards. Out of curiosity, I went into his site and I saw that. I think I saw the problem right away because I saw it with a fresh eye that he wasn't able to understand because he would see the same thing over and over. And the moment I stepped into his site, I saw that he would have amazing shots from couples, maybe kissing in the sunset, very artistic shots and visuals. And although we have done some weddings together, he had some nice productions, some nice ceremonies to show, and some nice places. He didn't showcase that.
Not on the cover, not on the
exactly.
homepage. Yeah.
And you have to realize that this client wants to relate. He wants to understand that you are capturing weddings that are this level.
Yes, absolutely. I think that's very important to show big productions, to show grande weddings, to show these kind of events.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you can be artistic.
Exactly.
But it's just the order you put it in.
And then even if you have the opportunity to capture just one wedding that is this level that you want to book, then this is the only thing that you should show. Because imagine that the next client that comes and it's this level, if they see your portfolio and they realize, oh, the other wedding that I see has nothing to do with my wedding. And the next one that I see, again, nothing to do. And the next one, again, nothing to do. So he will say, okay, then this photography is not for me.
Yeah.
It's better if you show less, but they're targeted.
Very curated. Okay, I picked another question from a list of questions here. Thoughts on the new film grainy wedding trend? I think they forgot the word blurry. Film blurry grainy wedding trend.
Well, I've seen photographers that they use film and they use it in the way also you described. And I love the result. But there are very few, to tell you the truth. And I see many other photographers that they use it and it's, in my opinion, it's not good. So I would say it's just another medium. It's not that important. It's not what we sell. What we sell is the memories, what we will capture, to be present, to be attentive, to be genuinely interested in what's happening in front of you.
Yeah.
And if you manage to capture the core of the wedding, these key moments that they move every viewer, then nobody cares if you capture them in film, if you capture them, with a digital camera, if you capture them in a Polaroid. It doesn't matter. I mean, okay, I understand their aesthetics evolved, but it will not make your business successful or not.
Yeah.
You will still, if you manage to do all the steps right and you have this kind of product, this kind of service, then you're good. You don't need to put film in there.
No, I agree. I like creative images that can be produced with film and with this approach, but I don't like the way it's abused. I see it very often abused just for the sake of, I also do film, or because it's a different mindset, it's different approach. Film is slower. So for me personally, when I try to, and I've tried to combine both, doing hybrid photography, so digital and film on the side, it's like you're running behind two rabbits and you cannot catch any of them. So if you do that, do just that. Otherwise, in most of the cases, from what I've seen, it's not working out. It's just a trendy thing, but nothing more than that.
Yeah. So one more question here. Best tips for shooting with flash?
Read our book about flash. Really,
Yeah.
honestly, it's the book
It's all in there.
we are extremely proud about. There are more than 1,000 photographers who have downloaded it.
It's in 5 languages.
It's
But
in
anyway,
5 languages.
Let's reply to this question.
I will reply, but there's so many gems in there. But best tips for shooting with flash, that first, before firing the flash, especially during daytime, you have to make a shot without flash. I think that's the biggest mistake most of photographers make. They just shoot right away with the flash on, and then they're trying to figure out what's not working.
So basically, you find the settings, having in mind the synchronization speed of your camera, and this is without flash. And then once you find your settings, then you add the flash. And from this point on, it's easy to see what's happening. If you see that the flash is invisible, then you need to increase the power. If you see that the flash is more powerful than you want, then you have to decrease the power.
It makes it super simple. I think that's this little tweak.
And it goes also for night shots, because depending on what you want to do, how much ambient light you want to use, again, first find your settings for the ambient light, and then knock yourself out with the flash.
Totally. All right. Best wedding kit, not brands, but setup.
Oh, okay.
Okay, easy.
I don't know what's best. I can tell you
What works for us.
Yes. So my to-go kit is one camera on hand. The lens that we use the most is 2470, although I like more the 2870 as a quality. But when we don't have backlight, when we don't have difficult light conditions, then 2470 is so much lighter and easier to work with.
Just it's about the weight. Otherwise, if the performance would be the same.
And also sometimes I miss the 24.
Yes, true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish there would be a 2470, the quality of 20.
Yeah, that would be amazing. And then an assistant with a flash, camera flash. So
speed light, flash, yes.
Yeah, that's all you need.
Monopod for assistant.
Yeah, the monopod for the assistant, for sure.
And the drone.
And drone, yeah. Okay.
And we have, of course, a backup gear for absolutely everything. We have more than one flash. We have like 3 or 4 with us. We have second and third cameras, a lot of batteries, that goes without saying. But yeah, we're trying to be as compact as possible when it comes to gear on us on the wedding day. All the rest is in the bag. Hopefully, no backup will be needed.
Okay, next question. If someone has no portfolio yet, where do they even start?
Well, if you work for another photographer, most likely you will not be able to use the images. So, and this is totally normal. So styled shoots are, okay, very overrated, but still necessary when you're just beginning, especially because it is the way to showcase your creativity, to create the perfect scenario, and just feel and let your creative juices flow in it. However, it's not ideal because you're not going to get a lot of experience from those style shoots. So you might be able to produce a really nice photo during the style shoot, but when you're going to end up at a real event, you will not be able to replicate any of that. So what I would do is, I would say, for instance, you want to be a wedding photographer. Start from something which is as close to a wedding photography as possible, like photographing people. So it can be doing engagement shoots, couples, portraits, family photography. It's a field that is easier to penetrate if you, even without having a portfolio. You can start building a portfolio from your like close friends, offer, people that you know to photograph them for free, just to build a portfolio of nice images of people and connections and emotions. Already working and expanding within that circle, you might get a request from the friend of a friend, like, oh, by the way, we have a small wedding or we have an elopement. So you actually open door to some opportunities here, and you might end up photographing a friend's wedding. It happened to me like that. I started from fashion photography, and here in Greece, I had some style shoots, but I did some style shoots with couples. I didn't want to photograph weddings. It was just a fashion shoot with the real models. So I had it on my site besides some other fashion work. And then a friend contacted me and she said, I'm invited for a wedding in Santorini and they're looking for a photographer. And also they wanted a Russian-speaking one. And they saw my portfolio and they said they would love to have you. And I was like, oh my God, I've never photographed a wedding. Why they would want to have me? But they saw that I photographed couples. So they saw that my images back then were airy, romantic, even though I was doing fashion. So it they could relate. And that landed me a first job.
Yeah. And about this question, building a portfolio is not the first step. The first step is gaining experience. So like you said, when you photograph for another photographer, when you work in the studio, Of course, you're not going to have a portfolio, but you're going to create all the experience that you need. So when the time comes to create your portfolio, you'll be able to create something that's worthy of showcasing to other people.
Absolutely.
Maybe it will help you make some sales. So I would say first get experience, then at some point that you feel more confident about your craft, then find ways to photograph people close to you. This is the people that they're not gonna say no to you.
Yes.
I mean, your sister, your brother.
She's like, no way. You're not taking any pictures of me.
And once you finish with that, then
Yes.
start maybe a small business by, as you said, photographing something easier than weddings. That is not as difficult as photographing an event that's live. Portraits of a real couple. You can say, okay, even if I didn't make one photo now, I see it. I can tell them, oh, let's do it again.
Yes, because at the weddings you don't get this.
You don't get
second chances most
That's
of the
it.
time.
So that will be the next step. And once you feel again confident enough, then start knocking doors for weddings, even for friends. And then you're going to have a few photos that you like. This is your small portfolio at the beginning. Start with that, and it will lead you to more
Absolutely.
bookings.
How do you balance working 24/7 with personal life? I think the core of this question, working 24/7, like there is no personal life, no sleep, sleep deprivation.
24/7. How do you balance it?
Okay,
There's nothing.
jokes aside, okay, we don't work 24/7,
No.
but
So you want to answer your question?
yes, I can answer this question.
You don't need me. I can leave.
I feel like I'm bad at this, so I have something to say.
Say it.
Because I think you're way better at balancing.
Okay. Go ahead. I like where it's going.
I think that this is like being an entrepreneur is so much less sexy than it sounds. And we're like one person orchestra trying to do and doing 1 million things, playing different roles at the same time. It's very energy consuming. It leads to a lot of burnouts. And I'm also a workaholic, so I don't know how to balance things. I know how to drive myself to the burnout, then like a phoenix. Yes, I come out of ashes. And then I drive myself to the burnout. Somewhere in between, there is Mr. over here who is like bearing with me.
Yeah,
It's very hard. Yeah, the bottom line. Very hard.
Anna is the wrong person to answer this question because she always have these deadlines in her head that they're not realistic. You have to work 24/7.
Or they're unnecessary also.
Yeah,
I know I
necessary.
do that.
That's the first thing, that they're necessary. You put them in there. And while you have these unrealistic deadlines, you think of something else also that you have to do. And so it's a great driving force, but at the same time, it's exhausting. So if you want to have balance, you have to find someone that lets you stop.
Yes,
Okay.
you need a balancing force.
Yeah.
So Thanos is my balancing force, and whenever I go nuts, like we didn't, I didn't check all the list. He comes to me and he says something like, I like this phrase, like, Anna, like for instance, when I wanted to finish and deliver the wedding sooner than I had to deliver it by a contract, but in my mind, I wanted to do it twice sooner either way. And he would tell me, Anna, you're not a heart surgeon. Like nobody is gonna die if you're not gonna deliver the wedding today. It's kind of engraved in the back of my head, sort of. So I try to remind myself every time I push myself too hard. Or you ask me a question like, Anna, what is the meaning of life?
Oh my God.
Yes, you did ask me that. And then I was thinking very hardly, and it took me a while. And then the answer that came was to have a good time, have fun.
I would say to this question this. There is time to throw yourself 100% in there and build your business and work overtime and do whatever it takes. And then you have to realize at some point that you cannot go forever like that. You have to also take care of yourself in order to be able to have this kind of power to put
Continue,
this to
yeah.
continue. So it's not that there is one rule for everybody. People have different motors, and some people they can work 24/7. Some people they can work 10 hours a day, 1 hour a day. I don't know. So you have to find your own measurement and balance, because balance is the most important thing in life, as we know. And try to keep close without to this balance that you have in mind. It's not going to happen every day. It's not going to happen maybe for a month, but when you have the opportunity, try to make it work.
And don't feel guilt.
And don't feel guilt. Yes.
I think that's a really nice topic to end this podcast. Motivational. Thank you so much for being with us. We hope you enjoyed this a bit different format for the episode. I know you have prepared the quote.
As always, this is our closing. So Mark Twain said that if you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything.
Very wise.